Hi, my name is Linus, and I want to show you how you make your own Dreadball pitch, or to be more precise, mount it on board from these printouts. These are files I uploaded to BoardGameGeek, so you can download it there and print it out. And the result should look like this, of course, with these pictures. This is the first Dreadball pitch I made. I call it the fantasy pitch. And before I start, I want to tell you this is my first video I'm going to do, and I hope it turns out well, quality-wise and focusing from the camera and background noises. I'm in the kitchen here, maybe the fridge is a bit loud or whatever. Let's see. This is the first pitch I made. Which is a 6-piece pitch, and it folds like this. Here we go. I wanted to have to fold it really small because this was my original box. I wanted to fit it in. This is my Dreadball box. I don't own the original box. I don't own the original pitch because I don't like it. And it's so small, and this fits in here. This is a box that can hold to an A4 sized paper, but since season 2 came out and all new miniatures, and there will be season 3, this box will be lots too small anyway. So I decided to get a newer box, a bigger box, which I haven't bought yet. And the pitch I'm going to do today will be only 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, without the folding in the middle, and that will be a size of let me see, like 25 centimeter to 38.5, and yeah, that should be okay. I don't know, maybe I'm using this my Blood Bowl case I made some years ago, which opens up like this, and you have space for the board, and then underneath spaces for the miniatures. So maybe this is going to be my new Dreadball case, and it is like 40 to 26. That should fit. Yeah, that should do. So I just collected everything I think I need for doing this, which is a lot of stuff, like these cutters. You call them X-Acto knife, I think. We call them different words, like carpet cutters. And a ruler. This is a metal ruler. I stole from school in my art lesson. But it's a pretty good tool if you want to do straight cuts. Pencil, of course. Another one of these little rulers, because at some point I need a 45-degree angle. And these spray glues, I don't know the English term for it. It's only written in English and French, but you know what I'm talking about. It's glue you can spray on. What else do I have? I bought this cardboard, this huge piece of cardboard. This is a gray cardboard, like 2.5 millimeters thick. This is a different cardboard than I used for the original board. For the first one was a white one. I think, yeah, it's 2 or 3 millimeters. And it's very sturdy and works very fine, but it was very expensive. So this was half the price, and I hope it'll work and won't bend too much. This is my main concern, but we will see. And I got this piece of wood. This is a background from a picture frame. Always make sure you put something on the table when you start to cut your things or spray, because otherwise you ruin your table. I just came back from the printer. These are my printouts. This is A3 format, and I'm always using this. For regular boards, 2 will be enough, but this board is, well, just a bit bigger, a bit longer. And well, the printouts are okay. I'm not very satisfied, but it should do. And it's on a thick paper. It's a 300-gram paper. That's the thickest they had, and it works fine. It also looks a bit shiny and kind of a bit laminated. And yeah, it's just, it works. I played on this a lot, and it doesn't get scratches too easy, which is always a concern when you're using miniatures. About the board size, I already mentioned I don't like the original board size. And this is the same size like the other one is gonna be. And it's, if you want an exact size, it's 375 millimeter to 740, so 74 centimeters, and that's a good size. I played a lot on this board, and if you sit on the table, not on the table, at the table, you still reach to the other side, so you can play on all sides. And the hexes actually have a size of about 30 millimeters, and that's cool for the miniatures, like these robot miniatures here. So even if you get a crowded place, you still have enough space to move your models. So one restriction was the length and the table itself, and that you should, be able to play on the other side of the board even when it's sitting here, and of course the printout. So I knew I want to do it on A3, and if I would have done it larger, it would have, I don't know, didn't fit on A3. Okay, the first step will be cutting the cardboard. As you can see, hopefully on this camera, I already drew the lines, and I added 10 millimeter to each side because I want to have a frame, a 5 millimeter frame around the actual printout, and we'll put on this black tape on the frame, and that's gonna look really cool and be a bit protection for the board, but we get to that later. So I'm going to cut the whole board and 1/3, and I'll leave these two together for now. I will explain to you later. That's the first time I'm doing this with leaving them together. Got an idea, and I hope this works. And nothing too special here. Just take your ruler, place it exactly on the line, and make your careful first cut. With a cardboard that thick, you won't be able to cut through with your first cut. Just make sure your first cut is very precise, because the deeper you get, you will be led by this line, this first cut, and if this is precise, nothing can happen with further cuts. Okay, these are the cut out pieces. Like the two of them. I didn't cut this, I'll cut it later. And the board is going to fold inwards here, and these parts outwards. So the first thing I'm going to do is place these two parts together very tight and very precise, and tape it back together again like this. Okay, let's cut up the endings. This one and that one. Okay, so this will be our first fold. And what I want to do now is make a border with this tape, just to have a nice black border, which is also a protection of the sides of the board. And as you can see, I painted these edges black with this very thick felt marker, and you'll see why I do this later. So first thing I'm gonna do is just stick this one on here. Okay, we need at least 5 millimeters because this is one of the part which you will see, and then fold it over very tight to the back. I don't care a lot about the back, how it looks, because, well, I never see it when I play. Okay, and for the second part that will come from here, I would want to have a 45-degree angle, how they touch the both sides. So I'll take this one and cut a nice 45-degree angle here. And remove this part again, hopefully. Yep. Hey, and the black came off. What I don't like is if two of these parts stick together and they're not close or precise enough. You can see the gray cardboard shining through, so I paint them black everywhere this might happen. I'll cut this off. I'll do the same thing on the other side. A nice 45-degree angle and remove this one here. And again, the black came off a bit, so I have to repaint this. Okay, the next tape I'm gonna put here is going this way, and I want to stick it to this 45-degree angle. So this time I'll cut my angle first. So again, come on, 45 degrees. Okay. And then I attach it right very precise to this one. I'll see if I can get a close-up later. Okay, I also remove this part. I don't need it. Fold it over. Okay, let's see if we can get a close up here. Okay, this is the edge. And we can still see some white shining through from the inside of the tape. I'm gonna paint that black because I don't like that. Okay, here we are. I finished the whole border and just did some slight, blackening of the edges to make them look a bit nicer, like this, and to have no white or gray shining through. Yeah, okay. And I realized you had to recut this part because the board folds like this, and with this stripe along here you had to recut it, but only the bottom part. Then I'm gonna paint this line, which will be the cutting line later, black. Because later when it folds like this, I don't want to have the gray shining through. And then I went to cutting my first page. And very important, maybe it sounds ridiculous, but wash your hands before you do that, before you get to your main board, because you've been working with a lot of ink, and this might be on the tape or whatever on your fingers, and you don't want to ruin your printouts. I always do 2 printouts of each I need, just in case I mess one up, and I don't want to run to the printer again. I want to finish this. So just invest a bit more money and make 2 printouts just in case something goes wrong. This part is 25 millimeters, and since we want to leave a 5 millimeter border, I cut this 24.5. So this should fit like this and create our 5 millimeter border around. Again, after cutting this, I'll paint these lines, these cutting lines, black, because, let me see if I can show you this. You see how the white shines through, and I don't like that. I'm very lucky this is a black theme here. The main background is black. If you're working with another color, you maybe want to choose the background, the main background color of your picture. But well, this time it's black. Be very careful if you do this, not to slip with your marker and run across the picture. This will ruin it. And let me show this here on a white piece of paper. Hope you can see this. Do it like this, the thicker the marker is, the more safe you are that you don't slip to one of these sides. And don't go too slow, because if it's a cheap paper, it's going to bleed into the paper. You already see we got a thin line here, but if you stay longer, I don't know if this works here. Yeah, the line is getting thicker and thicker, and if it's a cheaper paper or less quality, whatever, it will bleed into the paper, and you don't want to have this. It doesn't matter that much here because it's black anyway. But it's only one line. Don't go over it twice or 3 times. Just make sure it's black. Okay. Before you spray and actually glue it on, try it out, give it a test, make sure you know where the fold is in here, make sure this is gonna get tight to the folding here. It's just helpful to place it once and see how thick the borders are, if it's okay here. Okay, and I think I'll find something to keep this, to hold this up. And then I'll spray this glue on it. I won't make this here on the table, I'll make it on the floor. So I won't put it in camera, but it's, well, just spraying it on. Don't spray the glue on the board itself because you'll have glue all over the borders and you don't want to have this. So put it on the back of your printout. Okay, here we are. The glue is sprayed on. It's sticky. And now here for the very precise part you have to be very patient with. So make sure you stick it right in this corner. And centered to the borders. Okay, that looks good. Okay. And just use something soft like a towel or a handkerchief or whatever, Kleenex, to rub it on, always from the inside out, because if I would rub the other way it wouldn't have any place to go to if it just bends or stretches a bit. Okay, now we go for the second part. I already cut these lines, and I don't care about this part. I want to overlap it just a bit here because we're going to cut this board anyway. But the tricky part is where to cut this side, because this side has to match this part exactly. And there's no really good way to measure it, because if I measure from here, I don't have this part of the picture here to measure. So I usually take some points on the printing which are obvious, like a distance to a number or one of these stars in the background, something I can make out to say, okay, the cutting line is running through this. Let's say, okay, I think you can see this. You got the 11 here, and see there's a certain distance to this white ending, and there my cutting line has to go through to fit to this side. So I'm gonna make a mark here, just a little mark, because I don't want to cut on the cardboard. And I'm looking for the same thing on the bottom, which is, I'd say, the distance from the 4, and also the distance from this hex here. Yeah, let's say it goes through here. Okay, and I got these two little marks. Take your time with this. If you mess this up, you're gonna need to print another sheet, another copy, which is expensive. And you have to run to your copy shop again, which I hate. Not the copy shop, running to it. Okay, again I'll do this marker thing. Again I'll paint the borders black. Or again in the color of your main board. If it's, I don't know, fantasy board, like my first one, I've chosen the background, this brownish background color. Okay, I don't paint on this side because this is going to cut anyway. And then I'll test again if this really fits well. Yes, I'd say it does. It does look nice. So this is how I want to glue it onto the board. But we have to be a bit careful because this is going to fold inwards. And the two papers will get closer and will push each other. So you want to have it tight, but maybe not too tight. Yeah, you can try this. You could also hold this upwards like this, and then push it up to here and stick it on. Then you get the distance that's needed for the folding. Part 2 of 3. Just make sure you have the right direction. Okay, and of course we start putting it to this side to make it fit very tight and very precise. I usually start on one edge and work myself down to the next, to the other edge. Okay, at this stage I'm still holding it up here, it's just sticking in the front part. You could already test how it folds and what happens if you fold it over. Yeah, it looks great. Okay, and then always from the part where you glue it first outwards, and again with something soft, fix it. Okay, now to this part. The first boards I made, I had this cut. I made this cut before, so I had 3 basic pieces. But then I had to adjust the cutting of the paper itself to the cutting of the cardboard, and this was not as precise as I wanted to have it. So I decided to do it different this time, and I hope it works out, because now I want to cut both in one cut. Okay, I got some little marks here, I'm sure you can't see them, where the cutting line should be, based on the painted line I made right in the beginning. And here we go. Take your time with this, because this has to be very precise. And I'll start cutting very soft. the cut is, I don't know, I think it's okay. And now we got the third piece here. And since this is gonna fold outwards like this, we want to fold like this and like this. So again, I'm gonna paint all this inside stuff black because I don't want to let it shine through when it's unfolded. That was easy. Okay, what we need to do now is put these two pieces together again with a tape on the back. So I have to turn it over. Remember, this is your working space. It might be dirty and whatever, so you don't want to put your face of the board right on it. Just place something underneath. Okay, so like we did in the beginning, just on the other side, make them fit very, very precise and very close. And go for it. Okay, here we are. So, don't need this anymore. Now you can see how the board will fold. And time to put on page number 3. Okay, back again. I cut my third sheet just around these lines and already blackened them, you know the procedure. And again, I have to find the right connection point between these two. And I already had a look and found two very obvious points depending on the picture. And I will cut it now and hope I'm right. Let me blacken that first. And let's see how it fits. Okay, what I'm looking here is this one part that's just overlapping a bit. And I'm thinking of maybe cutting it again a bit, which I'll do. This will be an experiment. You won't see this on camera, but here we got a line which goes like this, just a slight bit, maybe a half a millimeter. And maybe I can straighten this out a bit. hopefully. Just cut a bit more and hope I don't ruin it. Yeah, that's better. So there are still possibilities to do slight corrections, and no one will see it. Okay, and now, if we measured correctly, did all measurements correctly, and we just place it right next to the page 2, we should have a straight 5mm border here, and we got it. So glue is sprayed on. And since this part is going to fold outwards, I don't have to care much about the distance. I just want to have it as close as possible to this page. This is why I start exactly here, again on one side. Very precise. Going to the other one. Rub it on a bit. Yeah. And this is our board. I think it turned out really nice. I will make some close-ups a bit later. You see how this folds. Folding is working great. And ready to play. Okay, here we have it, the final board. I think it looks fine. Let me zoom in a bit. Focus, okay. You see this is the cutting line. I think it's okay. Not worse than any other board game board. Man. Okay, we see the cutting here. Let's fold it once. Yeah, this goes like this. This goes like this. You can see that one part of the board is unprotected right now, so maybe you want to put it somewhere in a case or in a sleeve. With the 6-piece board I showed you at the beginning, they all fold inwards, so every part is protected, so just make sure you don't mess up this. Okay, hope you had a good time. I hope this video was helpful for you. Again, this was my first video, so hope everything went fine. And sorry about my English. And yeah, if you got any questions, post below about size or whatever. All the files, the graphics from this board and from the other board are on Board Game Geek. You can download them. The resolution should be high enough. If you need a higher resolution, just ask me. Thanks for watching and have a good time and have fun on the field. See ya.